guys, how we doing? How we doing? Right, good to start the stream again. I am indoors. I'm on my own, no Marley tonight, so I will be having some refreshments. I have got the aircon on. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling comfortable and ready for a couple of good streams. Right, one small problem though. You'll probably notice behind me there. They're actually no, that side isn't it? They're my curtains because something's gone wrong with my. I use an external camera because the camera on the laptop's pretty crap. And I've been using it for a year. It's really good, but for some reason the software that controls the camera it's gone kaput. I've deleted it. I've downloaded it again. I've looked at the help pages, but it's not working. And because of that, I'm not able to zoom in. So what you normally see is what you're looking at now. But I zoom in. I'm a bit bigger, and all the curtains and everything disappear. But it's going to have to be like this today. And it is quite hot again here today. Let's just turn that down. Right, what's been happening? Wow, 100 in already. Good, good. Right, I'll just say hi to, I know who this is, the ethical monger, and the lady boys call me Frank Weiner, is it? Yeah, good evening, Fakehead. The first two messages of the night. Let me say hello to everyone else. Ryan Seeger, hello everyone. Peter from sunny and hot Folkestone. Yeah, Ryan, I heard the weather in the UK is baking hot at the moment. It's on a par here, isn't it? Just not, probably you haven't got the humidity, I guess. D&E saying good, how you doing? Franco's on the road. Put him up there, handsome man. Look. He's driving up to Sheffield, but he's still moderate. He's in his truck, but he's still able to moderate. It's all high tech in there now. Ben Lino, how you doing, sir? Baidi. Brian Street, Franco De Rosa, laugh out loud. Innovations, good day to everyone. Javier, how are you doing? Hi Peter, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Yeah, it's a busy time for me at the weekend because that's when I put together the stories, prepare the thumbnails and everything for the live streams, and I've done. Marley and I have done another video in Chinatown, and I have to edit that. It's the editing that takes the time. When you go out filming for an afternoon, it's an afternoon, and then you're done and dusted, right? But you know, you've got to edit it and get the music. I've just joined an online music site where you can use music to put over videos. I've noticed some YouTubers have got very good music. The YouTube vault of music is pretty crap actually, and that's what I've been using up till now. I've had to pay about $150, which is about £135, but that's for a year, and I can download as many as I want, and YouTube won't penalise me, give me any copy strikes, and the music's much better. You'll see on upcoming videos now when I'm out and about using the music, it's much better. And we've got another video planned for Tuesday. So I'll just say a big hi to Roy as well. How you doing, Roy? I bought him a beer at the end of the street. Nice guy. He bought me, I think he bought me dinner before, or at least bought me a beer. So I thought I was actually coming back on the motorbike. I see him sat there, so I thought I'd buy the old boy a beer. We had a little chat. We put the world to rights. Right, innovations finally have the day off. Good stuff. Paul B. Hello, Peter from sunny Manchester, UK. Almost touching 30 degrees. Well, that's hot. That's getting on a par to here. I don't know what it was in Bangkok today. It's not as hot. It's very humid as always, but it hasn't been blistering sun all day. Graham Hawkins, afternoon, guys. No name. Good day, everybody. Bangkok Jimmy, how are you doing? Good to see you in the stream. Haven't seen you for a while. But were you in last week or was it the week before? George, nice to see you. 30:30. Coming to Pattaya for the first time soon. Excited. Yeah, there's mixed things about Pattaya. I'm going to Pattaya with Simon on, I forget what we said, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm actually doing the driving for a change. Every time I've gone with Simon, it's him who does the driving. But I've got this car now, and I've decided I use it, you know, to do trips. And I said to Simon, if you can get over here, I'll drive down. And we're going, because he's been so busy with the factory, he hasn't had any trips out for a long time. So I said, look, take a couple of days off, midweek, I'll drive you down there. So we're booked into a hotel on the beach road. We're down there for 2 nights. And he's never been to Soy Buakhao. He's never been to LK Metro 3 times. So I'm going to take him around there. And he's lived here years, you know. So I'm going to take him around there, and then we'll check out Walking Street, because that's very, very much changed as well. But it is supposed to be low season. I've heard different remarks. Some people say it's very busy down there. Other people say it's quiet. Some people say it's dead. I don't believe it's dead by a long chalk, but it might be a bit quieter than when I was last down there a month or so ago. Nominee Inspector, good afternoon, Peter. Good time to be on, not clashing with the Champions League final. That's good. Every week I seem to be clashing with either Formula One or football or horse racing or some bloody sport. Well, it is Saturday afternoon in the UK after all. Rio Reno, good morning. Let's put that up there. Rio Reno, good morning, Peter and everyone on the stream. Just back from a very hot bicycle tour here in Rio. That's good. At least you're keeping yourself fit. That's the main thing, which I'm trying to do. But you can see I'm like a bloody hamster at the moment, so fat. Let's put these up. The old currencies are doing quite well towards the baht, as is expected. When you come out of a high season into low season, the baht tends to fall a little bit, and all the currencies to kind of creep up. You know, we were hovering on the 40 mark a few months ago, 40 baht for a pound. Once it slips under 40, it gets painful. It's not doing. It's getting pretty good at the moment. If you can see on screen there, it's 43 baht and 49 satang. There's 100 satang in a baht. Okay, so 43 baht, 49 satang. US dollar 34 to 60. US dollar was once 36 Thai baht to the dollar. Okay. Okay, I had to screen this one first. It says, I can't read the name, obviously. It says, hi, Peter, Fashion Police here, watching you all the way from the undisclosed location in downtown Mogadishu. Thanks for having me. Okay, good to have you in. And another strange one there. Are you going to Sir CL tonight? I don't even know what that means. What's that mean, Sir CL? You'll have to give me a bit more detail on that. Kev 1 2 3 4 1 2. I always say 1 2 3 4 5 6, but it is 1 2 3 6 4. Peter, do you still have Apple's details? I do. I think I do. Let me put them up here. She actually texted me the day and said, "Oh, I haven't had any customers from you for a long time." Oh, do you know what? I have. Let me put my email address up there because I've got rid of them here. Just email me and ask me. You can go back and freeze this or pause it. Write to me and just say, "Can you give me Apple's details?" And I'll give you a line ID. Okay. Right, yeah, that was my plan. Andrew Hammond, take Simon upstairs to kink. Well, you know, if I didn't, it would almost be a crime, wouldn't it? The only thing with kink is, well, no, I won't say it. Okay, but no, that's what we'll do. I think I'll take it. He's never been to Tree Town. It's a bit quiet, I hear, Tree Town. So what we'll do, we'll probably mose it. We're going to meet a couple of people actually. So Simon and I are going down midweek. Damon, he's here at the moment. He's had 10 days in Buriram. He's going down to Pattaya, so he'll be down there the same time as us before he comes up to Bangkok and flies back to the UK. And then who else is down there? Nick, one of the viewers who I met in Pattaya last time. He came and met me we had an afternoon on the beach. He was knocking them back. I was on the sodas. I said, don't drink in the day. But yeah, we're meeting Nick as well. So there'll be 4 or 5 of us. And Desha will bump into some of you lot there. So if you see us, come and say hello. Won't bite. Right, let me just get rid of that. Okay, LMAC Moth. Okay, I don't know what that means either. No name 26 for CAD. Stay put in November. What all these cryptic messages? I don't understand what they mean. What's the time? What's the latest time to book flights? UK Bangkok. More massive price increases. Yeah, back to what you there, Andrew. Take Simon upstairs in King. Yeah. So what the plan is, we'll do a couple of beers in Tree Town, jump on a BART bus down to LK Metro. We'll have a beer in the Time Bar, probably nip across the road to the Billabong Bar, and then we'll do whatever go-go bars. I'm not really a go-go bar person these days, but you know, Simon's 10 years younger than me, so he'll want to see what's around. And then yeah, we'll take it from there. Right, Mazza. Good day, Peter. Just pulled over for a break in the truck. All the best. Thanks, Mazza. Good to have you on. Nominal Inspector again. Is it going? Is it going up because interest rates keep going up in the UK? I don't know about that. I mean, primarily most years, what you'll find is in high season, the baht is very strong, supply and demand, isn't it? And when you get into the low season, the baht kind of goes down a little bit towards most of the currencies. Like I say, most currencies have crept up against the baht, so that's good news if you come in here for a visit. Right, Paul Hoskins. Or Hoskin even. Now that you live in Thailand, will you be going on holiday to another country? Not for a long time, Paul. If I do, it will just be short trips to like the Philippines or Vietnam, Cambodia, just to, you know, a lot of people have done it already, haven't they? I've got to get around Thailand first, haven't I? I've just started, you know, doing these videos outside. I'm trying to do, not everybody has taken to Mali, you know. I brought her onto the channel to try and shake things up a little bit because a lot of people said, look, you're getting a little bit stale. And you know, you need to do something different, get out there and make videos. Other people like her, other people appreciate her bubbly character, you know, but not everybody. So what I've tried to do is split things up between the two of us. So she's here for every other stream. So next week we'll be out somewhere sitting, getting bitten by mosquitoes somewhere. And then I do prefer when I'm in the apartment because it's nice and cool and I can have a drink later on. Let me just say hi to, who's that? Innovations, new member. Oh, glad you finally joined Innovations. Good. because we'll be having a manga minute and a ladyboy competition in the members area tonight. Right, who else we got here? Did I say hi to you? Super nice. Hi, Vinny. El Terrifico, your mic is not on. Cam mic only. Oh, okay. Are you sure? Let's check that out, because that'll be very echoey if it is. No, it says here that I've got the.
Right, well, I've just changed it. Is that any better? Let me know. Microphone USB audio device. Right, okay. Can somebody let me know? I'll come straight down to the latest comments. Do I sound normal? Is it very echoey, or, you know, because if it's picking up off just the camera itself, it will be very, very echoey. Let me come down to the bottom, see if anybody can tell me. Google user, yes, better thing. So has it gone better since I just changed it just now? Have you noticed the difference? Like when I said I've changed it, okay, people are saying that's better. Okay, so let me just check what the setting was, because I don't want to do that next week. So I should be on microphone USB audio device. What was I was on default microphone USB microphone. Okay, so so this is coming across. Yeah, everybody said much better. Okay, thanks guys. I don't need to know from anywhere else. Let me go back to where we were. I sometimes have guys complain. I think I've mentioned this before. You know, some guys write to me and they say, "Oh, you know, when you do a live stream, you just waste so much time saying hello to everybody at the beginning. It takes up half the stream." But isn't that the whole point of a live stream, that you're engaging with people and you're saying hello to people? I know when I used to watch live streams, if I left a message and the guy read it out, I thought, oh, he read my name out. I used to like it, you know. Mr. Superstar, good evening, Peter and viewers. Yeah, how you doing? Steve P. Hey, Peter, nice stories this week. Yeah, the first story was a bit controversial, wasn't it? I actually had a reply from the guy who wrote it, and he said, look, I see everybody thought I made up the story, and he actually wrote something to me, but I think I've deleted it. Let me see if I can find it, because he gave an explanation. Everybody was saying, like, no, you've made that up, that story. Let's have a quick look in here and see. It might be in the recycle bin. It's a little bit long. Oh yeah, okay. So a lot of, you know, the first story, a lot of guys said, yeah, bullshit, because I said it was a little bit controversial, because he said that his girlfriend had came over with her nephew as a son, and the father was actually the brother or the wife. I'll just read this out to you. I mean, you can make a cup of tea if you. It's not too long. So this is a guy. He's looked at all the comments on that. If you listen to the stories today, the first one about the Filipino, the guy who brought the Filipino girl to the States, and she turned up with a brother and a son. It was a father. It was really her husband, something like that. And he's written me this. And now, why is that not opening? I just had it open now. Oh, that's really weird. Oh, now my email won't. There we go. Right, let me just read it out because I'm talking too much. So he read all the comments and he thought, okay, people thought I was bullshitting. So he wrote to me today and he said, hi Peter, it was a pleasure hearing your story. You read my story, this week's video, and by reading the comments, it sure is getting a heck of a response. Okay, because people wrote things like bullshit, well, he made it up, right? I understand why many of the comments are skeptical, as you were at the end of the story, like, because I was a bit skeptical as well. I was like, well, how could she take over the house? How could, you know, they just throw him out? Yeah. I understand why many of the comments are skeptical, as you were at the end of the story. Because of the lack of certain details, when I was typing the story, as I got near the end, I felt that it was going on way too long. I didn't realize as I was writing that I really condensed the end of the story, leaving out some important details. Okay. First off, the whole ordeal happened to Chris over the course of 5 or 6 years when he arranged to bring his wife's mother over from the Philippines. It took over a year to get her a passport. You don't know what type of visa she had. I don't know what type of visa she had, but it was probably only for 3 or 6 months. Now, I admit, I don't remember if the uncle and his son were able to visit while the mother was there. They may have come after the cops were called and while the divorce was going on. We're nearly there. I do know that the divorce was very hard on Chris, and with Rose crying and acting like a victim in the courtroom, Chris just wanted it to end, so he agreed to give her the house in exchange for her dropping the chain. You see, that doesn't make sense to me as well, because in the story, he actually said he came home from work and the cops were there and he wouldn't let him into the house. Now, according to this, he'd gone to court and it had all been done. So now I am getting skeptical. What I left out of the story was that there were many days when I worked on projects with Chris, and I even had lunch with him in his truck from time to time. He loved telling the story of his first meeting with Rosie. His eyes would light up. He would get very animated as he talked about how quickly he fell in love with her And yes, he would show me the magazine with all the pretty Asian women who were looking for single Western men. Unfortunately, I left the job before Chris made his next trip to Asia. I think it's funny that some of your commenters think I was Chris and the story is about me. I worked at that job for over 2 years and heard bits and pieces of the story many times. Chris himself loved to talk about it. As for me, the only story I have that is close to your topic is that I had a Chinese girlfriend for 2 years, and when her family thought she and I were getting too close, they kidnapped her, took her back to China, and forced her to marry someone she had never even met because it was a business deal to help his family to the States. But listeners probably won't believe that story either. So there you go. You make up your own mind, okay? I mean, at least the guy's gone to the trouble to try and explain it. If it was just total BS, I think he would have just walked away from it. Yeah, I'm skeptical about it, but then, I always give the benefit of the doubt. Okay, right. If you just joined us, welcome. Saturday night stream. Probably noticed it's looking a bit weird around the edges there. As I said at the beginning, I've lost the software that does the focus and stuff is it's not working, and you can see everything now. I'll try and get that fixed by next week, even if I have to buy a new webcam. Right, hi to Capio, you're in there. Why does it say new member? I thought you were already a member. Right, we'll get down these comments so far. I've got something really interesting for you as well. That if you think it's not expensive in Bangkok now with the entertainment, you wait till your eyes will water when I read this out. This is from a viewer who's just recently. Right, where were we? Right, Elmac. Right, late date, £1,100 minimum now for a flight ticket. Clay Alling. Okay. Hey, Peter, the wife and I are looking forward to meeting you after we get back from Chiang Mai. I suspect we'll be a little tired and have our luggage with us. Laugh out loud. Okay. Just on that last thing there, you'd be surprised how many people on that story, you'd be surprised how many people write to me and when they look at, say, the Nat and Dave cartoon, they'll say, you're Dave, aren't you? You're the guy. It's based on you. And I'm like, well, no, I was married for 30 odd years. Or they'll watch one of the videos, the story videos, and say the guy's called Glenn. They'll say, "Oh, I believe this. You were Glenn, weren't you?" And if somebody wants to be really nasty, they'll say, "No wonder she left you." I get a lot of that. Yeah, Clay. Okay, well, I'm here. Whether I'll be here on the day that you arrive or the day you want to meet, I don't know, because I'm going down to Pattaya and I do move about a bit, and I'm not always free because I do a lot of work on YouTube. Frederick, hello from Samui. A little cooler now. May was terrible hot. Hottest May in the 18 years I have been here. It was really hot, really hot. Thailand's hot, but it was extraordinarily hot. I walked out the front door down to 7-Eleven and I could feel the pain, not the pain, the heat on my back. I mean, it's nice, but it's, you won't want to spend the day in it. You get these, what's always fascinated me is you get these Thai workmen builders, and you go outside in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts and it's like, oh, I need a Sprite, I'm burning up. I've only gone 100 yards. And these guys are out for 8 hours. They're wearing jeans. They've got jackets on down to their wrists. They've got their faces wrapped up with hats on. And they're out there hacking away at grass or they're building things. And they're up on, amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Actually, I was talking to an Australian guy called Ian who I became friends with, who came out here. And he was telling me the same thing. His wife has got a house up north somewhere and they had some building work done at the front of the house. And he said the same. He said, I was looking I looked out and they were there and they were, 8 hours. They were hammering away building this wall. And he says, in the end, he said, I took out cold beers and Pepsis and all the rest of it. And he said, I just kept them well watered. Brian, outside Gulliver's, Soy 5 could be a good place for a stream. Outside Gulliver's on Soy 5. Where's Gulliver's? I'm just trying to think. Soy 5 is Foodland, isn't it? Where's Gulliver's? Yeah. You need somewhere where you can actually sit down and, drunks aren't going to come up and knock the camera over and stuff like that. I'll check it out. But, the biggest problem, people think it's really easy to find a location to do a live stream. It's actually very, very difficult because you've got to find somewhere that's not playing music because every kind of music is copyrighted. Even elevator music's copyrighted. So when it picks up that music, as I said many, many times, it's got to be somewhere that's quiet or the music's so low. The microphones I've got now are very good. They drown out background noise, so I could get away with it. But it's just so difficult. I'm going to try some. I think next Saturday we're going to try somewhere different. Okay, so we're down to the comments where people are saying the sound is better now. God, 10 people have said much better sound, and Alan edited says sound worse now. So I think I'll go with the 10 or 11 here look, who are saying the sound's okay. 12 with Jamie M. Okay, right. Reggae vibes. How you doing? Good to have you in. Rizzler man 22. Yes, it's better. Regular. Okay, everybody's saying it's better. It's better. It's better. Andrew Hammond much better. Uh, yeah. Okay. Fake head. That comment there. All right. I think we're going to knock them on the head now. I know you don't mean anything by it, but it was a misunderstanding between Andrew and myself. As I've said a couple of weeks in a row now, I lent Andrew a couple of £100 when he was in dire straits here. He got sick. Uh, I threw him a lifeline. I chucked him a couple of £100. He told me he'd pay me back at the beginning of the month. He didn't. I didn't get any answers to my messages. So of course I threw my toys out of the pram, and I assumed he ripped me off. I came on here and made a big thing about it. And as it happened, the story that actually evolved was that Andrew had actually got a call from the hospital saying his mother was, and he rushed out of the house to the hospital, didn't take his phone with him, hence why he didn't answer my messages. And he did eventually get back to me about a week after that, and then he apologized for not paying me back. He then paid me back, and I don't know, hopefully it'll mend itself over, because he's a nice guy actually, Andrew, but I was just totally pissed and I let my frustrations out. And he's a little bit to blame as well, because he could have got a message to me if he really wanted to. He obviously didn't think it was as important as me, but I don't hold it against him, so I'm going to move away from that now. He's paid me back, that's the main thing. Capio, so you're a new member tonight, welcome. I was watching your stream the other night. Which one was it? I was telling Steve from Yoz Travels about it. It was a one where Yoz was on your stream, and Yoz was talking about, I won't tell you what businesses he does, but even I didn't realize that. I mean, I was playing pool with him here. I think I met him in Tree Town. I met him here in Bangkok. We drank together. We played pool. I didn't know nothing about his business, and then I listened to him on your live stream, and the subject was kind of like liver puddlings, how people assume things and say negative things. And I thought it was quite a good chat, actually. And Steve was quite interested as well. And I did tell him, and talk of the devil, there he is there. Good evening, young man. I hope you're doing well. I know you've got the bit between your teeth ready to get back here to see your young lady. Okay, so there must be some good football on tonight. Yours, looking forward to the match tonight. I'm really lucky because normally it starts just when my streams start. Toby Price. Bart going down is nothing to do with higher low season. Turum is only 6% of GDP, manufacturing at 34% GDP. It's because of the election and changes to who will run the country. Okay, so I've been told. Thank you. Right, yes, Capio and the boxing mate. Brian Street, cheers. Okay, a lot of sports fanatics on here tonight. That's one thing I've never really been into, sports. Right, Kev, I'll just call you Kev, okay? Those numbers do my head in. Does anybody know in the Philippines, if you move in with a separated woman who is not divorced, you can end up in jail? It's funny you should say that, because because of that story about the Filipino girl today, there was a lot of chit chat comments on there, and somebody was saying, unbelievable, because once you're married in the Philippines, that's it. There is no divorcing. Good luck with that. I don't know. Is that true? On your comment about the Philippines there, you could end up in jail. I don't know. Seems a bit hardcore, doesn't it? Right. D-Clan Omara, I'm 62, looking and rich. Good looking and rich. Okay, we'll take your word for that. Okay, no name. New bronze member with 6-month plus membership badge. Okay, congratulations to you. Terry Delve, good day, Peter. Canada here. Good. Yeah, that's really weird. I'll put that up on screen. Let me just have a slurp on this. I don't know where this rumor started. I had a guy, that video I did in the week. I don't know if you've seen it, but I did a video. Hang on. Excuse me. A lot of people ask me, look, you've been here a few months now, Peter. I've been here 6 months now, full time again. And people have been saying, right, well, how much do you spend? Right. So I made a video on what I spend, and it wasn't a recommendation on what you should spend. I wasn't saying, well, you should aim for this for your rent, you should aim for this for your food. It was just me, Peter, this is what I spend a month because this is what I choose to spend. And in that video, I'd actually said I don't go with the ladies anymore. Right? I don't bar fine ladies, and I don't buy ladies drinks, which I don't. And some guy wrote a comment and he said, oh, your credibility has gone completely downhill with me now. You're telling me you only go to Patti to stay on the beach. And I was like, well, yeah. And I said, I had credibility? Really? I didn't know that. Anyway, um, there's been a rumor going around that I'm actually living in Pattaya now, and I've heard it from a few people, and I don't know how it started. If anybody here knows, let me know, because, I get comments saying like, "Oh, well, you must be a right loser because you've moved down to Pattaya and you're this and you're that." Um, Ben, how you doing? Good morning, Mongers. Uh, this is one of the reasons I don't have Facebook and Twitter and all the rest of it. It's because once you get onto Facebook and things like that, you open yourself up. You people. It's just a platform then, isn't it, where people can abuse you. And I just don't have time for. I don't want to entertain it anymore. Um, Right, Phil T, good evening all. Life is often stranger than fiction, I found. Yeah. David Loveday, there should be a Nat and Dave feature length movie. That series was awesome. Well, I won't go over old ground. I tried to make it into a feature length movie. I took all the 10-minute clips and put it together. But believe it or not, that's not my highest ever viewing video on the channel. The video it's had close, I think, well over 500,000 now, about 600,000 viewings. 20 things not to do in a go-go bar. It's done very, very well. And I noticed when I'd done it, suddenly all these different YouTubers were bringing out titles like things you shouldn't do in a go-go bar, but what I won't say people were copying. But yeah, that video did really well. And then it was a Nat and Dave one. Right, Anton, thank you, mate. Very kind of you. First super chat of the night. I haven't heard you ask for more stories lately. How is your inventory looking? Well, I only ask for the stories when I'm getting pretty desperate, because unlike some other people, I don't make them. They are genuine. I'm not saying every story is genuine, but they're genuinely sent in to me and I read them out. And depending, on how many I've got, then if I'm down to my last sort of one or two, then I'll keep pleading, please send me more stories. But at the moment, I've probably got about, I don't know. Let's have, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, but they come in on a weekly basis. And I've noticed recently some of them are very, very long stories, like the ones I've recorded, the ones for next week, because I'm in Pattaya, so I don't want to rush when I get back. And the two stories I've read out today, one of them is like 20 minutes long, so but new stories are always welcome as long as they're genuine. I get people sending AI stories, that you've got CP chat and stuff like this now, where you can write in there, tell me a story of a bar girl or something, or a guy who gets his heart broken, and it'll actually write the story, and people send them in to me, and I know immediately. I just know, because when the way AIs write a story, it's not the same way as people write a genuine story, because when someone writes a genuine story, it flows. But when an AI app writes it for me, because I've been telling stories for 4 years, I don't know if everybody could recognize it, but because I've got experience with just reading stories, I can tell immediately. And an app will basically write it like very short sentences with full stops after each one. I met a beautiful girl called Rose, full stop. I'd been on holiday once and I was determined to see her again, full stop. It does it like that, whereas a genuine story kind of flows, and it's very easy for me to pick up. And I get guys send me in these stories that have been written in chats, AIs, and I just send them back and say, look, it's not a real story, and I never hear from them again. There might have been the odd one who slipped through, I don't know, but you know. All right, Capio says, Declan, stop trolling, chap. Much obliged. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're in, Capio, because I don't have any moderators in tonight, because Franco's on the road. He's got one eye on the wheel and one eye on the stream, but a bit hard to type. And Damien's actually here with his young lady, so you're a moderator as well. So I think we'll have to let me get your let me put yours as one as well. Hang on. I forgot how to do it. How do you do it again, Capio? I know don't you highlight the name or something? So where is he? Yours. I've lost him. Okay, I'll try it when I see him again. Steve P. Okay, right. Yeah, if you're listening, yours, I'll just put you as a moderator as well. I know you're not going to be in here all the time, but if you happen to be in here and you see somebody leaving stupid comments and you spot it first, you can just wipe it out. That's true in the Philippines. Can go to jail for sleeping with a married woman. Scans out there to trap foreign men. Okay, so it's a scam basically. Okay, Terry Dwelve, there's no divorce in the Philippines. Well, it is. It's a Catholic country, and it's very Catholic. And I do remember when I was in the Philippines years ago. Those jeepneys. I don't know if they still have them, but they have. They put little kind of what would you call them? With their names on the top of the glass. We had it in the UK in the 80s. Steve and Caroline, and it's just silly, really. But they have them in the Philippines, and I've seen stickers on the back of these buses. Jesus drives this bus and stuff like that. So straight away, when you read that, you think they're definitely serious about religion. Okay, Alan Editor says you can get an annulment, but it's very hard to. Okay. Right. What kind of lifestyle can you have for £2,500 a month? You can have a great lifestyle out here. That's 100,000 baht a month. But let me warn you, as I said in that video I made the other day, the biggest portion of a guy's money will disappear once he starts entertaining the ladies, right? Once you start hanging out in bars every night and you start doing ladies' drinks and you start doing short times, your money will you'll need 3 times that money, because you won't be able to live out here unless you've got an awful lot of money. 100,000 baht a month, you'll have a good life. You can get a nice apartment, 20,000 or less. You get yourself a scooter to nip about on, or use public transport. Yeah, it's a good budget, very good budget. I know people who live out here on half of that. And don't forget to factor in things like your visa, your medicines, your insurance, emergencies. A lot of these videos that people put out there, they don't tell you about these emergencies. They just tell you about rent and food and stuff like that. Guys who are successful out here, if they want to do that sort of thing, most of them will get their own girlfriend. They'll go on Tinder and get a nice girl to kind of live with them or see them a few days a week. Some guys will have half a dozen girls they'll see once a week. But there's nothing wrong with going out and having a blowout now and again, but it is getting expensive. That's a good time to bring this in. Okay, so this is a message I got from somebody. Now, this is a guy he's been coming here for years, and he knows the bar price fines. He knows the price of ladies' drinks, short time aerobics, all that sort of thing. And he just sent me this, and it made my eyes water. He says, "Hi Peter, just thought I would share with you. I had a night out in Nana Plaza. Not been in a go-go bar for years. Some young lady made a beeline for me, as they do. I bought her a ladies' drink, a tequila, 365 baht for ladies' drinks. That's like $10 for a drink in a go-go bar. And they normally want like 3 or 4 of them, don't they? Oh my God. And the price for spending some alone time with her, 1,000 baht bar fine and 4,000 short time. Okay. That's UK prices, or 7,000 all night. I made my excuses and left. How are guys affording that, let alone having a holiday with them out of my league? I don't care how beautiful they are. That's just a rip-off. It's changed such a lot in 20 or so years I've been coming here. Well, there is still value. I mean, if you know where to look, there is still value here, but it's certainly not cheap, but there is value. But, when you go into places like Nana Plaza, the hardcore go-go bars, they're just out to, they're out to maximize. They know most people who go in there are on vacation. They're never going to see him again. If they get upset for being ripped off, they don't give a shit. They're just sort of trying to get as much money as they can. Okay, Elma, actually booked a hotel after a review on your channel. Okay, I'll just put that up there. Which hotel was it? Because I've only stayed in one bad hotel in Pattaya recently, and I can't name it for libelous laws. But it's not one I stay at regularly. But if it's one of the ones I'm thinking of, let me know which one it is, and I'll give you a little bit more detail on here about it. Tony Price, next video should be 20 things to do in a go-go bar. Well, if you need a list of 20 things to do in a go-go bar, you shouldn't be in a go-go bar, full stop. Okay, Elmac, I like hotel reviews. Well, you can only do them when you stay in the hotel. I did the 3 Wamali just for fun. I don't know if you've seen that video where we did. I thought, well, what can we do for her first video? And I thought we'll do 3 budget hotels around close to Nana Plaza, which we did. And I thought she did very well. But as I said, not everybody's taken to her. Some people are like, well, why did you bring her in? We watch it because of you. We don't need her in bimbo. And, they're a bit derogatory. And one guy even said she can't even speak. Oh, that was funny. I said to her on the live stream, I said, oh, there was a comment saying that you can't speak great English. What would you say to him? And Marley turned around and said, well, it's simple. Learn to speak Thai then you'll understand me, which I thought was brilliant. Okay. Terry Dell, just don't get drunk in Pattaya, problem solved. Well, you can't go to Pattaya and not get drunk, can you? It's about having a good time. Mind you, some people have a good time without getting slaughtered, as it were. Marky J, 20 things not to do in a go-go bar video served me well on a visit to Phuket a few years ago. Yeah, there's some good tips in that video. No name, good. People keep telling me about this guy who's telling stories. I don't know who he is, but they keep saying, "Oh, have you seen this guy telling stories? He's copied your format, and even his thumbnails are the same as yours." And do you know what? To be honest with you, I'm not really interested. Let him do his thing. I mean, if they're good stories, people will watch them, and if they look like they're made up, people will know, won't they? Right, Christopher Tate, great stories this week. 28 degrees in Leeds. Thank you for that super chat. Just put that up there, Chris. That'll get me four cans of Leo, which I will buy. Okay, where are we now? Let's have a look. Scout Sandy, hi Pete, a bit late, not to worry. Good to have you in. How long have we been going? Nearly 40 minutes, no problems there. I'll say this again, just in case you're wondering what the outside is. It looks like I'm on a little 70s TV, doesn't it? The focusing, the zoom has gone on my software. I've been trying to work it out for 2 hours and I haven't, and I thought, well, just go with this. So it's okay. At least you can see me, as long as you can hear me properly. Right, Capio, I've got you there. Now, how do I... I'm gonna have to do it. So I'm gonna have to do it off screen next time. Capio did tell me, but right, okay. Ban the user and delete their comments. No, it's not that one. Right, Bangkok Jimmy, I'd like to be a moderator. Okay, I'll bang you in. That came out wrong. I'll put you in, Jimmy, for next week. I'll try and remember to get your name and put you in there because Capio told me how to do it and I forgot. Ryan Seeger, I'm scared to write my stories in case you laugh at my grammar. No, it's not really a problem because I tell you what is really good now. I get guys send me in stories from all over the world, and some of the English is atrocious, but it's not their fault because they don't speak, it's not their mother tongue. So I'll get a guy from Netherlands, for instance, he'll write a story. And what I used to have to do, I used to read half a paragraph and then rewrite it, literally rewrite it. So I knew what he was trying to say, but the English was just so bad, I couldn't read it out like that. So what I'd do is, you imagine 4 or 5 pages, A4, right? So I'd read a part of the story. I knew what he was trying to say, and I'd have to type it out, read another bit, then type it. And they used to take me hours, literally hours, and but I use CPI Chat now. I've got this subscription. I pay $20. I think that's $24 a month. And if I get a story that's good, but it's just written shit, lots of spelling mistakes, lots of grammar mistakes. Some people 3 full stops, 3 explanations. I don't want all that, And then other people, what they do is they put it lots of small paragraphs and I have to close them all up. And it's such a lot of work. So what I do now is I just take a section at a time, a paragraph of the badly written email, put it into CPI Chat, and I write at the top of it, rewrite this, correcting the grammar and the spelling, and it comes out perfect. I put that in a document, copy the next bit. Within 15 minutes, I've got a perfectly written story. Then I just go through it, and yeah. So don't worry about your grammar. I mean, just try not to do all those like dots, like lots of spaces between the text and all that. Just write it, let it flow, and I'll do the rest. Okay, right, Capio. Right, you need to right-click on his name on YouTube, not StreamYard, and click Add Moderator. Okay, I might try and do that on the break then. Now, how can I save this message? Okay, I'll try and remember. You need to right-click on his name on YouTube, not on StreamYard, and click Add as a Moderator. Well, let me go to YouTube now and see if I can do that, because, hang on, where will that be now? That would be under Content. Bear with me, guys, bear with me. Right, upcoming, right, there we go, that one's live. So that one should be, no, I'm looking in the wrong place. Okay, I'll do it later, I don't want to waste your time. Right, thanks Capio, anyway. Now I've lost StreamYards. Where are we? Oh. I've lost the stream. I can see me on the other screen there, but I can't open it up for some reason here. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Ah, that's it. I got it. Oh, panic sets in there. You see the sweat beads building. Right. Right, Kev. A very strong Catholic country. Some people crucify themselves over Easter. Really? Crucify themselves? Jesus. Wrong word to use there, wasn't it? Okay, not sure about that one. Right, Terry. Terry says, if you marry in the Philippines, they can still divorce you when you get to Canada. I speak from experience. Okay, Terry, send it in. Volume 203. Declan O'Mara, just done it again. Told her she can go shopping tomorrow. 100,000, no problem. All right. Yeah, you're giving her the debit card and said, see you later. Worst thing you could do. Right, Clay Allen. My wife's studio apartment in Korat only runs about 4 to 5K baht a month. Yeah, a lot of people write to me and they say this. You know, they say, "Why do you live in Bangkok? You can get a really nice apartment in Jumptin overlooking the ocean for 10,000 baht a month." Because I'm paying 20 here, right? I'm in central Sukhumvit. I've got the Nana BTS very close to me. I've got a huge, long 72-foot swimming pool on the roof. As I have a gym, it's all free to use. I've got fantastic security. The whole building's CCTV. We have 2 guards on day and night. Okay, so that's what I'm paying for. You cannot compare that to, you know, your wife's studio apartment in Korat, you know, for 4 or 5 thousand baht. I mean, it's a completely different ball game. As in, if you live in Hua Hin, I mean, I found a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment overlooking the ocean in Hua Hin for 15,000 baht a month, and it was beautiful. Okay, I'm paying 20 baht. I've got 1 bedroom, 1 lounge, a bathroom, and a kitchen on the end of the lounge. Okay, but I'm paying for location. I mean, it's like being in central New York or central London. You're not going to get cheap rent. And I think I've done very, very well on this apartment for £500 or $550 a month. You know, you wouldn't get this in Mayfair, London, that's for sure. Right. George says street girls are cheaper. Okay, we had a chat about that when we had lunch when you were here, didn't we, George? Again, look, come to Nong Kai, cheaper. Yeah, I mean, look, I know guys who live out here on, let's think, 25,000 baht a month, but they live like Thais. You know, they live in some village outside of Khon Kaen. It's not even Khon Kaen, some little village. You know, they're living in a traditional Thai house on stilts. The wife goes to the market and buys all the vegetables and cuts of pork and that. There's no entertainment, you know. I mean, the guy sits around and, I don't know, does something, cultivates something or other. I don't know. But, you know, that's not for everyone, is it? I'm not knocking people who do that. Fair play to them. I know there's guys up there. There's a quite a young guy, actually. He wears a hat and he's got a gingery beard and he lives up there with his missus. And he makes quite interesting videos. He's got kind of, I don't know if it's a farm, but he does, he just shows you their lifestyle. And that is very interesting, but it's not for me. That's not how I want to live. I didn't fly 6,000 miles to live in paradise, to live in the sticks in some wooden hut, eating nothing but vegetables and rice from a market. You know, I mean, I like red vegetables and rice, but it's not for me, that lifestyle, you know. Right, no name. I just do a walk through and see the old flames in Nana Plaza, not worth it anymore. Yeah, I've done that occasionally. Sometimes it's quite nice. What you do is you go into Nana, the guards are there now, aren't they? You go in and you just go up to the 3rd floor and stand and look over, and you've got your memories of, I remember my night in there and this one from that one. And, you know, you have a walk around, you have a mosey around, maybe have a one beer on the night. That's what I'll do occasionally. You know, they've got the bar in the middle, haven't they? I'll have one beer there. I know it's going to cost me an arm and a leg, but I'll just sit there and reminisce and look around and get a feel for the place, and I'll leave and go somewhere else. Vinny, I was hoping they'd extend the visa validity soon after the elections. Disappointed, it's back to normal now for most countries, including mine. Had to apply at the embassy for my trip in July. Yeah, well, they said all along, didn't they? They did say that it was a promotion. Some of the travel. The people who work for the travel industry, they did. Oh, what have I done here? Hang on. Oh, we're gone completely cahoots now. Look, hang on. You know, we're nearly there. You probably wonder, if you just came here and you're wondering what's happening. It's my my focus has gone on the software that operates this camera, hence why you can see the clips to my green screen and the curtain. Well, that's even worse, isn't it? Yeah. So some of the tourism people who work for the tourism board and stuff and the hoteliers, they did try to encourage it. For them to keep it going for 60 days rather than 30 days visa on arrival, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. Oh, it looks so shit, you know. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and when I look at this, I see that curtain down the side. It's never mind. Let's crack on. Oh well, I'll leave that one up there. I agree with that. D&E-san, I realised today that I was supposed to do my 90-day reporting today. It's lucky that there is a 40-day before and 7 days after reporting window. I thought it was 7 before and 7 days after, but I'll give you all a tip here if you live here. I was watching Trevor Buzzin Patia. One of his, it wasn't. Where did I watch him? It wasn't on his regular channel on YouTube. It was on TikTok. He had a 10-minute video on TikTok, and what he was talking about was the immigration in Pattaya. Now, when you go to renew your visa, what you had to do was you queued up out, unless you use an agent, but you queued up outside. It was basically a queue in the sun. I think there's a bit of a canopy, but you were sweating. You were there sweating, and they've now built a room where you can sit inside and it's got air conditioning, so it's going to be a lot more comfortable. But what I said to Trevor, I wrote to Trevor and said, Trevor, you do realize you can do it online, don't you? Because immigration, they actually have a website, and it's a really hard link to find, but I've done it and it works. So what happens is, if you go to one of the visa companies in Pattaya, for instance, they'll do it for you and they'll charge you 200 baht, and you think, well, that's okay, 200 baht, it's nothing, isn't it? But it's a lunch, isn't it? It's a 200 baht is a nice full English breakfast in Kunz, for instance, that you're throwing away. So what you can do, you go, it takes some work to find the link, but you go on the immigration's website and they have a link on there. And what the questions they ask you, just very simple. What's your visa number? Confirm your address where you're still staying. And that's it. You click it, and the next, generally they said 48 hours, but I got an email the next day saying approved, and that was it. So all you do is keep the email from immigration. I don't know if you go down there if they give you a stamp, but that's all I did. And actually thinking about it, when I did that, I actually went out of the country to the UK when I sold my house. So I didn't have a stamp for the 90 days, but obviously it was registered in their system. Yeah, I did. I remember now. So I did it online. I went out the country to the UK, and then what happens is when you come back into the country, your 90 days starts from the day you enter the kingdom. Your 90 days starts again, and then when you're due for renewal, you just go online, fill it, give them your visa number, tell them your address again, just confirm it, click enter. You'll get an email back the next day saying yes, it's confirmed. Thank you. And you just put that in its own special folder, and that's it. It is that easy, guys. You don't need to pay agents to renew your visa. You don't need to queue up at immigration. Right, what's that? You're saying chat arm 300 bar fine and £1,500 long time. Some reasonable sorts among the rough. I think the rough. You hit the nail on the head when you said the rough. I was in Charm last week. I know the street of bars you mean. Well, I was going to say it's near the 7-Eleven, but everything's near the 7-Eleven because they've got so many. God, this camera's really looking crappy tonight. Never mind. Right. Right, Bangkok Jimmy, why was my comment removed? I don't know, Jim. What was the comment? I certainly didn't remove it. I know because I haven't removed a single comment tonight. It might have had a word that YouTube's I don't know, it's not an algorithm. YouTube pick up. I don't have any moderators on tonight. Oh no, Capio's in. I don't know if he got rid of it for some reason, but it wasn't me. I don't know what the comment was, so I can't answer on that one, unfortunately. Good to improve my English for sure. I cannot understand everything, but it's going on. That's good. That's good. Hope I'm not speaking too fast. Capio says no comment was removed. Okay, there you go. Right, yours. Jimmy, most of the time YouTube removes a comment if you use certain words. Yeah, okay. See, what people don't realize, YouTube's algorithm for picking this up is really, really good. And even for comments, right? I've got a list of words that if anybody uses, we've all got them, but you can actually make a list of words that if any of these words come into the comment, they'll be held. So if you leave a comment and you say, hey, Peter, just watched the video, great video, that will go straight up in the comment section. Even if I was fast asleep in bed and I didn't see it till the morning, it will go up. But if you wrote in and you said, Peter, I've just watched that video and you're a total jerk off or a tosser, YouTube will hold that comment. And when I come on my laptop in the morning, it will say, I'll go into comments that are held and I can look at them. And sometimes they're not offensive. Other times they're just like, one guy called me, what was it he called me? I made that video, the one where I said why I retired to Thailand. And he said I was a pig of a man who was totally selfish and I'd abandoned my family. Well, because he used the word pig, which was one of my blocked words, it didn't get through. But I know what he wrote. But I was a pig of a man in his eyes because I came to Thailand. Right, okay, so that should have your answer there, Jimmy. Right, franchise 5, good to improve. Oh, I've read that out already. Okay, where are we now? Right, I think I just said that as well from Steve. Jimmy, I read that out already. Okay, good. Kev says, Peter, I was wrong about Molly. She's grown on me now. I hope she is. You can't judge somebody on their first couple of weeks. You know, I've signed her up for 3 months initially. I think she brings a lot to the channel. And the way I look at it, I am going to lose subscribers because some people, they want it as a kind of a man cave, you know, everybody drinking on a Friday or Saturday night. And it's like, you know, one of the guys brings his wife to the pub. It's not the same, is it? I understand. I get it. Okay. But on the other hand, you know, there's going to be people who leave because of that. But on the other hand, I hope to appeal to a broader audience. You know, I like, you know, I hope you guys will stick with it. But, you know, when we're doing videos on other things other than mongering, so in other words, you know, we're doing Chinatown. We did the IT Fortune computer store the other day. We did the budget hotel. I've got another video planned with her on Tuesday. Eventually, there's going to be 50 videos with all these different, you know, things on there, you know, and I hope that will draw in a wider range of an audience, you know, and that's what I'm trying to achieve here on YouTube. So unfortunately, for the people who really don't like her and they don't like her as an addition to the channel, you know, if they really can't put up with her, I'm going to have to politely say goodbye and sorry that you're going, but you know, that's life, isn't it? But you know, for the moment, I think she's got a lot to offer. And the thing is, when I've tried for a while to find a girl like her to come onto the channel, and what you'll find is, I said this before, what you'll find is you'll find a very beautiful girl, but she's got no personality, or she doesn't speak English, or you'll find a girl who speaks great English, but she's got no personality. You know, she's like, it's like talking to an English textbook. Or you'll find a girl who's, you know, she has got a lot of personality, but she's big, ugly, and she, you know, I should have said that, but you know what I mean, right? Marley's got a good mix. You know, she's quite pretty. She's good fun. She's got a good sense of humor. Her English is pretty good. And you see when I'm filming her in the IT mall there, when I'm filming, she doesn't just walk, you know, she's doing all the posing with her hands up. She loves it. She loves it. But, you know, give her time. And I think she'll bring a lot to the channel. I really do. Okay. Right. Clay Allen says, about learning Thai, I'm learning it now. It's been about 6 weeks. By far the most difficult language I've ever encountered. One of the reasons for that is because one word can have 4 different meanings depending on the pitch that you tell it. I will be cracking open the beers and the whiskey later, guys. But I found out. Do you remember I was saying a few weeks ago that some of my streams, they get demonetized by YouTube, and I couldn't find out. I didn't know why, you know. And what they'll do, if you write to them, say, "Why did you demonetize that video?" It'll have an orange dollar sign on it instead of a green one, and they just all the time they'll refer you to their community guidelines. So you write them an email, you know, "Oh, I don't know what it was. Was it a saucy, you know, was it a naughty picture you didn't like? Was there a swear word? Did somebody leave a?" You don't know what it is, and they always direct you to their community guidelines. So you go into the community guidelines, you know, but you're no better off because it's just a list of things you're not allowed to do, and it could have been 1 or 10 of something else. But I'm pretty sure I know what it is now because I've checked through all my videos that have been demonetized, and I'm not going to say the word else. This one will get demonetized. I never said it last week, and those two didn't get demonetized. And Tim Newton mentioned it the other day on his channel, and it's the C word. You know what Simon's growing, the green stuff? Well, it's that word that begins with C. If you say that, automatically YouTube, it's like bang, at game over, you know, because their advertisers don't like to advertise with any channel that uses that word. So I won't be. I'm going to have to come up with a code word for that from now on. Maybe the green stuff. That's a good name. Manuel. Let me put it up. I can't pronounce your last name. Hi to you, Manuel Aleo. Is it okay? Good to have you in. Okay, a bit more information for you there. It says, Alan editor, Jimmy, I've had comments removed even after the person I had commented to responded. Okay, it's a weird life on YouTube. You know, it's got a life of its own. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Jimmy says, okay, yeah, I typed in the word again and it was removed. So what was the word? I know you can't type it fully in, but can you write like the first every other letter so we can kind of guess what it was? You know, maybe put like other signs so it doesn't get removed. Right, Clay Allen again. Yeah, Yoz, my wife is Thai and is helping me, and it's still brutal. I speak quite a bit of Thai now, and I've never actually had any formal lessons. But it's just from being here for so long, you just pick it up, you know. And it's like sometimes you need. I was talking to, like, I was in Hua Hin, and I wanted to go to Monkey Island, and it just so happened that I stopped at an old lady's cart, and being a typical Farang, I was like, P, I called her P, right? It's an older person. I said, P cab, where is it? And she spoke English. She said, Ling, Ling. And I was like, how do you, and she said, monkey. She spoke a few words. So I now know that monkey is Ling. Probably pronounced it wrong, but that's how I've picked it up along the way. And I picked up quite a lot of words just through necessity. When you go into a restaurant and you want to order, say, rice with chicken, you need to know what chicken is. Of course, you need to know what rice is. And when you start to eat certain regular foods, you get to learn them words. It's like the other day I forgot the word for hotel. It's Rong Ram. Right. And I only know that because it's a word that I use very often, and you will pick it up the longer you're here. So don't worry about learning Thai. I mean, and the other thing is there's some really good courses on YouTube. How to first 20 words of Thai, how to speak Thai beginners. There's Thai people on there who speak great English, and it's free. You can put it on for half an hour a day. I mean, I don't watch them because I've got a very low attention span. I can't watch stuff like that. But if you come here and you're staying here for any length of time, you will pick it up. Right, Javier. The problem with high prices in bars is the influence of rich Asians from South Korea and Japan. They're willing to pay top prices without bargaining, and that's half the problem as well. You see, because they just don't bargain. They just a lot of the time. I was told by a girl in Therme that they don't ask how much. They just they'll talk to the girl, and they'll ask the girl, "Would you like to come back with me? Play some Connect Four." She'll say yes, they'll go, and there's 4,000 baht as a tip on the side of the bed the next morning without money even being discussed. So you can't blame them. They're out there to make money, aren't they? Right, Yoz. Yeah, don't ask the girlfriend what she wants, as you will be 70,000 baht out of pocket because she wants a new scooter. Yeah, learned the hard way, but it wasn't really the hard way, was it, though, Steve? Because you use it when you're out here, and you will save long term on taxis and BART buses and all the rest of it. And if you see her for a long time, and at the end of the day, I bought a scooter for 70,000. Mine was 72 because it was a limited edition, right, black and gold. But anyway, about the same as you. But it's not a waste, really. It's not a lot of money in the grand scale of things. 70,000 baht. I mean, what are you talking? You're talking what, £1,600 for a brand new scooter, and it's a 160 you've got as well, the same as me, right? So that'll last for 10 years. So don't worry about it. It's only money. Right, Kev. Japan is very easy to divorce. Takes 24 hours if you both agree. I know through experience. That's sad though, isn't it? You together all that time. Right, Paul Hoskins. Peter, are you managing to eat sensibly? Well, yeah, Paul. It's like I put on that video. The video. How much do I spend? I did say in that video, a lot of the food I cook myself now. I found some great places to eat, and not that expensive. And some of the more expensive places I'll use to treat myself. I often go over to the Wine Connection in Soy 11. I mean, they're great. You can get platters, make up your own platter of cheese. The pizzas are great in there. They've got a great menu, but don't expect to walk out there with less money than 300-400 baht out of your pocket. I like that place. I like the Indian place, the Al Hussein at the back of Soy 3. I go to several restaurants in Terminal 21. I can just drive up the road and park my motorcycle underneath. It's 20 baht for the whole afternoon, or 10 baht, for a couple of hours, whatever. And they've got a food court on the ground floor. I don't particularly like the one on the 5th floor, but the one on the ground floor is pretty good. They've got Subway, they've got, Sizzler, they've got MK, they've got everything. There's a great Thai restaurant that I really like near Villa Supermarket on Soy 33. So just as you get past Villa, the turn into the car park a little bit further on, there's it looks like nothing, but the food is superb, absolutely superb, clean, well cooked, and it's cheap. I went there with a friend last night. I treated him, and we had a load of dishes. We didn't drink because I was driving the scooter, but we had mineral water. We both had rice. I had a chicken dish. He had a beef. I think it was beef or chicken. We had spring rolls, fried vegetables, the whole works. So it was like 300 baht, 318 baht. We give her a tip. I think we spent 300. I spent 350 baht. So yeah, and apart from that, Paul, yeah, I'll you can buy a lot of items off Lazada now, non-perishable goods. Big C is very, very good for vegetables and shopping, and of course Villa, but Villa's quite expensive. But I do go there because they do stuff there that you can't get anywhere else. Right, Jeff Swam, Capo, you okay, mate? Okay. When I turn on my computer in the morning, I always see Capio. I always see a Cappy always live, and I think, oh, here we go. What's this? I've got my coffee. I'll watch this, and then it says 6 hours ago or 7 hours ago. And I'm like, oh, okay. I caught the live one with you and Steve. I don't know. I was laying on the bed for some reason. I was really tired. I can't remember if it's morning, noon, or night. I was laying and I was just messing about on my phone, and it came on, and yeah, it was quite a good listen. Right, uh, 383. I'm in Pattaya Beach now for the Pattaya Sky 6 party. Okay, good on you. Peter, you're looking better and healthier in the face. I put a bit of weight on though. I've got to get out of this habit. What I do is I eat at night. The problem for me is, and it's really hard to resist because I love my food. And what happens, I'm in a very comfortable zone here. So I'll go out filming in the afternoon, say, come back at 5, I'll have a shower, just check my bits and pieces on here. And then I'll go make a nice dinner, do a couple more hours on the PC, watch a movie on Netflix. It gets to about 11 o'clock. I just like have a peek in the fridge. I've got some real nice cheeses and crackers and grapes and, sourdough bread. And, because I'm in an apartment, I'm not in a hotel. It's like you have a little nibble and then it's like, waff. And you wake up in the morning, you think, oh, why did I eat that? Why did I do that? But, it's fun. It's fun at the time. But yeah, I mean, I'm 63. I've got to look after myself. Uh, Yeah, Bangkok, Jimmy. Bangkok is a place to be. I mean, I met Jimmy when I was. I don't do it anymore now, Jimmy. You know the park, the Queen Surrogate. It's not called the Queen Surrogate Park, but the back of the Queen Surrogates. It's called the. Is it Bletchley? Not Bletchley. That was the code deciphering place on the wall, wasn't it? I forget the name. Begins with a B. Dog Walkers Park. But I used to walk around there sometimes 5 miles. And I met Jimmy, and then we had a walk around there together. But I've stopped going there for a couple of reasons. One, I've had a very bad foot and knee ache for some reason. I've got to go back to Med Park Hospital to do some tests because some days I get up and there's no problems. Other days I'm limping. When I was in Chinatown the other day with Marley, we had to stop a couple of times. Said, look, I've got to have a rest, Marley. Get some aircon. But yeah, and the other thing, of course, is the air pollution. It was okay the last couple of days, but the last few weeks, the air pollution has been quite bad, and that's one of the worst things I don't like about Bangkok is the air pollution. Nomyai Inspector. Last went to Nana Plaza 4 years ago. I thought it was expensive then. Yeah, I dread it. You know what? I might do a recce. I might go over there and just ask some questions because it's all right reading all these emails and stuff. But one Sunday night, I think I'll go over there. I'll just go in a bar. My budget will be 1,000 baht. Okay, on beer. It's a big spend. Last of the big spenders, right? But I should be able to get. Let's have a look. 2, 4, 6, 8. I should be able to get 5 beers out of 1,000 baht, even in Nana Plaza. What are they? 180 baht? I can't imagine them more than that in there for a little bottle of Heineken. Could they be more than 180? If not, it'll have to be 4 beers. But maybe I'll go to Billboard and I'll go to London Calling and I'll go to Spanky's and I'll just drink 1 beer and I'll just call the Mama-san over and I'll say how much is a ladies' drink, how much is short time, and how much is long time. I'll make a mental note and I'll tell you next week and say, yeah, I was in there, heard it from the horse's mouth. Yeah, you're talking about the screen there in the background. It looks like a 1960s movie effect. Yeah, I feel like I'm on one of those little black and white TVs, but it's this or nothing. Right, here we go. Steve Hills. I once heard that Trevor is ex-SAS. Is that true? I don't think he was ex-SAS. He was in the army. I know that because I've seen a video of him actually when he was about 20 in the back of a military vehicle. It looked completely different. Somebody sent it to me, but I don't think he was in the SAS. Right, bigger stickers. Hi Pete. I was told health insurance will wipe you if your blood alcohol is over 19%, even after a fall. You know what? Biggest stickers. You're touching a nerve with me with these insurance companies out here. I mean, the story. I'm not. I haven't taken out not life insurance, health insurance, because I won't tell the big story again. But I went, I had all the tests, and because of a voluntary heart test which come up positive, nothing wrong really, but some minor bits and pieces which were really minor. They came back and said, oh, okay, congratulations, we'll insure you, but we won't insure you for anything to do with heart, liver, blood, gout, joint. And I was like, well, what the hell are you insuring? My sandals? So really put that up there for a second. Really, anybody who knows me, who watches this channel regular, I'm really not a big fan of these insurance companies. Some people swear by them. I got sick, I went into hospital, they paid the bill, they flew my sister out here to visit me. Fair enough. But most of the stories I hear don't go like that. They go the other way. I've been paying I've been paying monthly for 3 years, 4 years, even 5 years. I got sick and they turned me down because I didn't tell them I was wearing a blue spotted tie on the day. I took out the insurance. Ridiculous. So I'm not saying it's for everybody, but I've just made a conscious decision. I've put 1 million baht in a bank account. That's £25,000. Okay, I'm not rich, but I sold my house. I had some savings, and I've taken that £25,000. I've stuck it in the bank. I'm not going to go to all the ins and outs how somebody can help me get to it and pay the bills. But if something happens to me, I drop down and have a heart attack, 1 million baht will cover a lot. Okay, I'm not saying it's enough to cover everything, but it will cover a lot. And where people make their biggest mistake here on health insurance, they calculate it based on the nearest hospital to them. So this being circumvent, a lot of people will go to have a heart attack, they'll go to Bummengrad and they'll come out with a bill of hundreds and hundreds of thousands. But what they don't realize is if you go to a hospital a little bit further out, not the best hospital in town, but they've got good doctors. They all speak English, top facility, absolutely really good hospital, but it's just not Bummengrad. You'll get the same treatment, but probably for half the price, and that's something you need to look at as well. I need to change hospitals actually because I go to Med Park at the moment simply because Bummengrad is the most expensive and it's very, very busy. Med Park's on Rama 9 is very good, but they charge 12,000 baht a day for if you get hospitalized and you've got to stay in there. But all my bills I've had in there have been reasonable. If I've gone in there, I've had a consultancy with a doctor. They've checked me out. I'll give you a typical example. I'll go and see the doctor, tell her what my ailment is. They take a blood test to get a full lab report back. She'll advise me. They'll give me 2 sets of tablets for whatever. 2,400 baht. What's that? £60. I think that's very reasonable. The biggest cost I had a brain scan. They had difficulty finding it actually, but all seriousness, I had a brain scan because I was having these kind of like, I'm paranoid, okay? Not paranoid. I always think there's something wrong with me, So I was getting this kind of like, I'd be on the computer and I get a half a second dizzy spell. And, you start thinking, oh shit, have I got a tumor on the brain? I start thinking. So I went and I had this awful bloody check CAT scan, 16,000 baht, but it came back okay. Right, Andrew Hammond. Stephen Hills, yes, you're true. He was the best sniper. I'm completely lost on these now. Who was the best sniper? Right, Andrew the Drew. Nice. Thank you for the super chat. I'm from the US. What's a considerable amount of money I'll need to enjoy a week's stay? What's a good city or town to visit? Well, there's a very couple of easy answers to give you there, Andrew. First of all, your money will stretch much further if you go to Pattaya. But I don't know what sort of a vacation you're looking for. If you're looking to come out here, go out drinking at night, going with the girls, having fun, then Pattaya is your place, right? If you're not that sort of person, you want to come out here and just look at beautiful coastlines, you want to go to islands, you've got lots and lots of islands around Thailand, especially the south of Ireland, beautiful places. It's really hard to work on a budget because I need to know really what kind of a holiday you're going to come out here. Well, let me give you 2 scenarios. I would say if you're going to come here for, how long did you say? Enjoy a week stay, right? A week stay. If you're bar finding, going with ladies, and you're doing all that sort of thing, I would say 5,000 baht a day. You should be okay. So what's that a week? $1,000, right? But on the other hand, if you're coming out here and you're just going to go to islands, you're going to sightsee, you're going to go to the Grand Palace and things like that, as long as you don't get ripped off, you'll probably do it on a couple of thousand baht a day, so a week, you don't need to worry about too much. And what I always tell people, whatever you budget, put 20% on top of it, because the problem is it can be cheap here for some things, like trains, taxis, motorbike taxis, street food, that's cheap. But the problem is there's a lot more to spend your money on here than there is in your own country. People come here and they assume, oh, Thailand's really, really cheap, and they come here with too lesser money. But of course, there is a hell of a lot more to do here and to spend your money. And the Thais are very good at extracting money from you for offering a great service. I've said before, the whole reason they want you to come here because they want you to spend. They want you to spend your money here, and they want you to go home and say, hey, I had a good time in Thailand. Why don't you go to Thailand? You spend your money in Thailand. So just budget a little bit more. And thanks for the super chat, Andrew. Right, out unedited. For some people, the convenience of the service is worth the money. Okay, what service is that, Al? What we're talking about now? Right, Jason, how you doing? Hi, Peter, and all on here. North London in the house, mate. It's bloody hot, and I'm painting 2 months and counting for my. Is that painting? Yeah, painting for 2 months and counting for my departure from the UK for good. So you're following in my footsteps, aren't you, Jason? Yeah, geezers. Jason, he's coming out here. He's got his tilak out here waiting for him. Right, Seamus. Hi, Peter. Flights are looking a crazy to Bangkok. Yeah, Seamus, somebody said £1,100. I booked. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I booked 2 tickets for my daughters who are coming out here in November to visit me, and they're stopping off at 2 hours in Abu Dhabi. They're flying with now what's the name of the airline? It's not Dubai. It's not Qatar. Qatar. I forget the name of them, but it's one of the big airlines that flies out the Middle East. So they'll fly direct from Heathrow to Abu Dhabi, 2-hour layover in Abu Dhabi. They get into Bangkok at 7:30 at night. The same going back, and I paid $1,400 for 2 of them, economy obviously. So what's that? £700 each for the ticket, and I thought that was very good. And that November is a high season as well. Okay, so let's have a look. Yours Trevor, there is a couple of idiots trolls going around saying rest in peace Jeff Carter. It's not true. I was chatting with Jeff this morning. Some people have got nothing going on in their lives, have they? Why would someone do that? Dave and Nat. Who's that? Peter, I hope you find love in Thailand. Oh, I have Netflix, beer. What more could a man want? Nick says Marley is funny. She is funny. She's great. She's got a good character. How far behind in the comments are 113, 950. Oh, quite far behind. Okay, 20 Rothmans. Molly is fantastic. She can open doors for you. You can alternate with the normal gentleman's content and everyone's happy. Well, that's what I'm trying to do, but not everybody will be happy. Hence why she's only here every other week. She was going to be on every week, and I realized it's not for everybody because it's a different kind of stream when she's here. When I'm in the room, I'm talking at the same speed as you guys speak. When Marley's here, I've got to slow it down. She's asking me to translate, and it's different. But on the flip side to that coin, she's bubbly, she's fun, and she's a lot better looking than I am. She does a lot of work out here. You know, she does a lot of work for, at the moment, she's doing something with a football team. Oh, that doesn't sound right, but she does a lot of work out here. Yeah, Ryan says she's fitting in fine. Nomi inspector, she seems all right to me, so I know how far up behind I am. Right, I'm going to come down to, let's see if we can get a bit further down. Sorry, yes, she's fitting in fine. Ben, I like Marley in the live chats, but she might as well do the informal videos. Well, I think it's good to have her in the videos as well, you know, because it helps me with the camera work as well. It's really difficult when you're walking around with a selfie stick. I've got these new mics now, but you know, when you're walking through Chinatown and you've got people on either side of you, you know, it's really hard to walk around with a stick. You'll see in the next video, you know, we're in a bustling market, but it was easy to film her on my mobile. Right, Cam the cook. Yeah, I remember you, Cam. I used to enjoy the stream with a few drinks on Friday night here in Canada. Now that you're in Thailand, I can watch you during my wake and bake. Thank you. Yeah, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I really enjoyed the streams a lot more when I was in the UK. I just felt because it was 10 o'clock at night and I was in my own environment there, you know, my garage, you know, it was my garage now, right? You know, and I'd have a drink, and because it wasn't in Thailand, I felt obliged to really kind of try and entertain people. So I did all the competitions. I had nothing else to do while I was there, so I spent a lot of time doing all the competitions. I used to get 500 people in the stream, but it's different now. I'm in Thailand. It's just the time of the day. You know, in the UK now, it's in the afternoon, isn't it? It's now 10:15 at night here in Thailand. I've got 250 people in the stream, which is great. But yeah, they were a lot of fun. It used to be 10 o'clock on a Friday and 9 o'clock on a Sunday, and they were very enjoyable. People talking about Japanese here. Okay, Steve said, yes, it is the C word. All the vloggers avoid it now. Yeah, we'll call it the green stuff, okay? The green stuff. The C word, the green stuff. Yeah, you can't use that word at all. And the irony is that it's legal in Thailand now, says No Name. Yeah. Deke, how you doing? Hi, Peter. You're looking well, mate. Thank you, Deke. You're looking well yourself there. Handsome man there in the picture. Are you on the road tonight? Right, Alan edited the guy who uses candy as a replacement. Candy, for me, that doesn't kind of go right. Candy, no. I think the green stuff. I prefer the green stuff. Right, Kev. I lived in Japan for 10 years and found Japanese not very difficult compared to Thai. Naughty boy. My ex-Thai girlfriend used to play Thai Tuesday, so if I wanted anything on to communicate, it had to be in Thai. I learned pretty quickly. Yeah, I know another guy who learned Thai quite quickly, and the way he did it, he used to watch Thai movies that had English subtitles, and he picked up quite quickly. Right, let me go down to the latest comments because I think I'm a bit behind and I've got about 10 minutes to go on this stream. Um, from the name I can't pronounce, Peter, I live in Konkan and have been here for the past 20 years. Okay, so I left Konkan in because I was part of the opening team for the Sofitel in Konkan, lived in Konkan for 2 years. That opened up in 1996, I believe, or 97, and then we were shipped out of there. So you probably arrived just after we left, but I'm sure it's very, very different. I must go up to Konkan. I've got a car now. There's no excuse. I'm not tied down to anything except the Saturday stories are like. It's almost like a job, Come Friday, I used to do it all in one day on Saturday, but it's a 6 hour slog with the stories, right? Edit them and rehearsing them and reading them and recording them and then editing the edit. And, it's a big, big job. But what I do now, I split it between 2 days. I do the reading on the Friday and I do the recordings on the Saturday, and it seems less work. Call it green herbal tree, says Paul Hoskins. Right, Ben Leno. Any regrets so far about the move? Yeah, one regret only, and that regret is I didn't do it 10 years ago. No, it's great. It's great. When I was in the UK, I mean, all fair enough. I'm not saying anything about my wife. Kids, we've still got the relationship. You see, my wife called me up the other day. We had a chat. Obviously, not that kind of relationship, but we're still friends. My girls are coming out here to visit me. They're happy. My wife's happy. She's got her own house. She's got no stress. I'm here. I'm happy. I've got my own life now. I buzz around on my scooter. I go shopping. I watch Netflix. I do YouTube. I love it. I love it. No regrets at all. The only regret I've got is I didn't do it 10 years ago because I would have been 53 instead of 63. Right. Karam from the jungle. I like Stumbling and Hillary Bars on Soy 4. That's about all I'll do down there now. But they're expensive as well. And they're hardcore, aren't they? They're all pushing the sales and but I do like Stumble as well, yeah. Naughty boy, I absolutely love living in Thailand. Only come back because of money. Yeah, it's easy to run out of money here. I've seen it done many, many times. Right, Kelly Harnett. I said that wrong. Hartnett. Kelly Hartnett. Hi, me from Vancouver. Hi, Kelly. Naughty boy said, sad tonight, no Marley. Okay, well, she'll be here next week. Darren Howe, I just on the last thing on that Marley, people just can't believe that I'm not banging her like a Salvation Army drum. And I'm really not. It's purely business. Because the thing is, if I was to, well, she might not even accept me. She's not a bar girl. She might say no. And then I'd have my pride hurt, wouldn't I? But the thing is, the way I look at it, right, it's been very, very difficult to find somebody like her to join me on YouTube. And if I ruin it by making a pass at her, even if she accepted it, it wouldn't be the same because it just wouldn't. You don't. It's like the old saying. If you're a boss at work, you don't make the staff your friends. You be friendly, but you don't be. This green screen's doing my head in. So honestly, I mean, the number of people who write to me say, "Oh, come on, Peter, you must be, giving her the old, you know what?" And I'm like, "No, I'm really not." But they just won't have it. Hang on, let me just still trying to sort this out. Right, that'll do. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is a professional basis only. You can see the aircon there. Look on the on that side, just there. You don't normally see that. My bed's behind here. Right. Too much information. Right. Needless to say, they never went back again. Yoz. Well, when I say girls, I mean the average girl in Stumble was 48. I thought more like 58. Yoz. I know what you mean. Right. Here we go. Fake Ed, ladyboy with the enormous dangle. Hey Peter, can you do that thing with your throat? The bar girls used to let me. Oh, okay, I'm not reading that out. Right, Paul Hoskins says the older you get, the longer it takes a bar girl to give you a massage. Okay. 20 Rothmans like a stolen moped. Steve, Stumble, I hated it. I used it for the World Cup final, but at the amount the amount of pushy girls demanding drinks, they're very, very pushy in all those bars, not just Stumble. A lot of guys like to just go into a bar and soak up the ambience. I've had a mama-san say to me once, "Well, why did you come in here?" I said, "I've gone in for a drink and I want to people watch, right? So what I'll do, I'll go into somewhere like, I don't know if it was Stumble, can't remember, but I want to go into somewhere like Stumble or Big Dogs, and I'll sit. They've got the table, the bench that looks over on the street, right? So you order a beer, you sit there, and you just watch everybody. You people watch. It's nice, it's nice. And I've done that before, and girls have approached, or the mama-san said, "Oh, you want to go? Can you buy her a drink?" I'm like, "No, no." And they're like, "Well, why did you come in here?" And I'm like, "Well, I've come for a cold beer and I like the view." And they're like, "Oh, that's a bit strange," sort of thing. It doesn't happen so much now, but they kind of don't understand why you go there. Um, okay, so let's go back up to some of these I've missed. Naughty boy, I actually get excited when she's on, but not tonight. I'm sad. Well, like I say, she'll be back next week. Mark from says, "Hi, Peter and friends. How you doing, Mark? Haven't seen you for a few weeks. Hope you're keeping well." Toby Price, Abu Dhabi. That's it. It is. Yeah, it's Ethia. Don't know if I pronounced that right, but yeah, my daughters are coming out on that. It's all paid for now. I've got them in a hotel very close to the apartment. They could have stayed here. They could have had my double bed and I'd have slept on the sofa, but they're like, "Dad, we don't want to stay with you." And I'm like, "Well, what are you coming out here for? To see me or a holiday?" They said, "What do you think? Of course, a holiday." So, but anyway, it'd be nice to see them. Um, Thailand Clucker. Hey, Peter, are you still with your lady? No, I split up with her and came out to Thailand. Um, join me in the members stream. Sorry, Moo. Kev says, sorry, moved to Thailand. I mean, okay, I forgot what the other comment was, Steve. Um, right. Karam, good advice because you will always spend at least what is in your wallet. Yeah. Alan edited. Need to remember that Peter is so far behind with the comments. Have to put it in the subject. Well, no, I did the latest. I'm going backwards now. I'll come back down to the latest ones. Right, Paul, 58-year-old bar girls, yummy. Paul, you need to seek therapy, mate. You need help. You need to take up a hobby. Right, Yours Travels, who is the best Nana for people watching? Well, you know, yeah, Hooters is you don't get hassled in Hooters, but sometimes you want to be hassled to have your beer glass filled up, and it's kind of hard to get it, if you know what I mean. Um, Right. Reggie Vibes, Peter, you say you're professional with Molly. Can or sweep her up in January? She's her own boss. If somebody meets her and they want to take her on a date and she wants to go on a date with them, then that's up to her. I'm not a dad, although she does call me Papa, which I hate. Um, but we're very close in a very different way. You might have noticed she's a bit flirty. I get it. I know what she's doing. You'll see her in the videos. She grabs my arm, she puts her head into me. But I've told her straight. I've said, "Look, Marley, we're friends, and that's it. And it's not going to be any more than that." And she's like, "Well, did you think it was going to be?" I'm like, "Oh." But that's it, right? So yeah, if you come out here and you want to go for it, it's your challenge, isn't it? It's nothing to do with me. Uh, I'm not sure what that relates to. Trip on two wheels. Face it, Peter. A lot of viewers are just thick. I don't know. What's that about? Thick about what? Yeah, they're not going to stumble to pick up girls. Yeah, they're like it's all. That's weird, isn't it? Stumble in how the old. You got the whole. They work there from like 10 in the morning. They're real like the old mamas in there. Right. Is it Bijan? Bijan Bain? I arrive in Bangkok on the 22nd. If I'm rested enough, I'll attend the Muay Thai and MMA at Lumpini Stadium on the 23rd of June, then off to Jomtien, Pattaya, and Hua Hin for a month. Yeah, that should be a good trip. I'm not a great fan of Thai boxing myself. I wouldn't go to a stadium, but fair play if that's what you're into. I've been in venues where they've had Thai boxing, and it's been interesting because I just happened to be there when it was on, but I've never kind of gone especially to see it. But a lot of people obviously they do like it. It's a natural sport here, isn't it? Um, okay, we're nearly there, guys. I hope Jan Mares, how you doing? Better late than never. Let's see. Let me get that comment up there. I've got the mouse on two screens. Hang on, here we go. Right. Hello, Peter. Greetings from Essex. It's nice weather here for a change. Keep up the good work. God bless. Yeah, thanks, Jan. A lot of people have said it's great weather in the UK now. And I remember last year, before I came back, we actually had a week of 40 degrees. 40 degrees in the UK with no aircon. Um, Right, well, I've got some news for the AV. Clay says, what's the point of Hooters in Pattaya? Kind of seems tamer than a Golga bar. Well, a couple of things there. Firstly, Hooters isn't there anymore because it's closed down, so that's all irrelevant now. But the other thing is, some people, they go to Pattaya on holiday and they like to look, but they don't like to buy, and they like to hang out in places like the Hard Rock and Hooters and those sort of places. Sometimes they are nice. If you meet a few friends, you just want to have a drink, catch up, and you don't want to be hassled by the ladies. You can do that later when you're finished. You can go the next day or later on. But sometimes it's nice to meet somebody in Hooters and have a chat with them. You haven't seen them for a while. But yeah, I don't know if you heard the news. Hooters is actually being ripped down. They're gone from Pattaya now. It wasn't the best location, and it was a huge venue. I've been there before. What they might do, I would imagine, is if they can move closer into town, nearer to Walking Street, and maybe get a slightly smaller venue, because they must have been paying a hell of a lot of rent on that place, and it was never packed, was it? Let's face it. It's like the Hooters here in Soy 15. You might not be aware of it. Not everybody. Everybody knows about the Hooters here on Soy 4, but they have actually got one on Soy 15. That's where the Mervyn Pick Hotel is, and they do okay, but it's not always rammed, as it were. But sometimes a nice place to have a quiet drink earlier on. Stan, you ever stop by Therme Bar just to people watch? Not really. I kind of feel uncomfortable in Therme now. It really has gone down the Korean and Japanese route. It's almost as like if you're a white Western man now, or any other race for that matter, other than Koreans, Japanese, maybe Chinese with money, I don't know. It's almost as if you're an afterthought. They're not really interested. You can see, I mean, I went round there with a friend, a guy called Eddie who came out here. He's looking to come out here, big guy. And we decided to do a bit of a recce, and we went to a few places asking prices and stuff. And me and him went down to Therme, and we did the walk of shame, where you walk around with a beer. And most of the girls, they looked away. In the old days, they looked at you and they tried and caught your eye, didn't they? But when we went there, they kind of looked down or they looked away, and the ones that did look at you were kind of like the ones that the no hopers, as I'd say. They weren't kind of like the A team. I don't want to be horrible, but yeah, it's gone very Japanese. It's gone very Korean. Those girls talk to each other, and yeah, they're there for money at the end of the day, so you can't blame them. A guy from from England will go up and say, how much? 1,500 baht? You must be taking the piss. They don't need all that, do they? Right. Bian, who needs a Hooters in a city with 175 girly bars? Well, I've explained that one, haven't I? Because a lot of people who live here, they don't, you get fed up of the girly bars. They're okay now and again for a bit of a laugh, but not every night. I was going to read that out, wasn't I? Think about not having the scene to understand your preferred relationship with my. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you got to keep it professional, haven't you? And at the end of the day, if I was into that sort of thing, I could just go down the road and get it, literally, right? 10 minutes, I could have one in here. I mean, it's a funny thing to say, and it's somebody watching America. If I got dressed now and went to the end of the road, within 15 minutes, I could have somebody laying there behind me. I won't get any more than that. Here we go, George. Handsome man. Well, I can't get this mouse off. Right, George says, girls in Therme smile at me. Maybe it's because I'm young. Yeah, I've heard a lot of them are from the. Yeah, you might be right there, George. I'm not sure. I was going to make a joke, but I won't say Stevie Wonder's sister down there, something like that. Right, listen, guys, that's it. It's coming up to the half hour. Look, I hope if you're in the members stream, again, behind me, that looks so comical, doesn't it? My focus is, my zoom's gone on it. I'm going to take a break for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to come back with the members stream. I hope you can join me in the members stream tonight. We've got a few, one or two, a different format today, 2 or 3 ladyboy competitions, but short in a different format. And I've got an older, have I got a manga minute for you guys? Yeah, I've got a manga minute. I've got some ladyboy competitions, and it's a much more personal thing because there'll be less people in. And if you leave a comment, it will get read out for sure. Okay. So to everybody else who's been in the stream, let me just find my out music here. There we go. Thanks for joining me for the stream. I hope I'll see you in 50 minutes in the members stream. If not, whatever you're doing for the weekend, have a great weekend. Okay. All I want.